much in the comments, but people messaging me, and so I thought that we could answer questions today. First question I get is, how do you live off-grid? Well, we live off-grid. We are completely 100% on solar. We have water catchment, and then at this point, until we get water tanks, we haul water from a nearby facility, and we get 1,000 gallons a month. But we usually don't go through 1,000 gallons a month because we're pretty sparing. And that is only for human consumption. The animals and stuff use the pond, and we do pump water from the pond into IBC totes. So that is how we are self-sustainable. We do at this point use composting toilets, which here shortly that will be a thing of the past, because we will actually be putting a bathroom inside the house, which will have a normal flushing toilet. Deer hunters. So then, next question. Well, I mean, to finish that off, we rely on no outside utility. We do, however, have Starlink. So we do get, because there is no phone and TV out where we live, so we pretty much have to stream anything that we watch, which we don't really watch anything but our YouTube friends, so YouTube and Netflix. When I worked from home, that's how I worked, with Starlink. And we have a cell phone booster that boosts our signal, so we're able to function completely fine. And yeah, that's how we're pretty much completely on our own facilities. And Dodge can correct me if I'm wrong. So that's how we live off-grid. Now, some people will say you're not off-grid because you still have Starlink and you still have like cell phone booster and stuff like that. And that's their choice. I'm not going to say whether they're right or they're wrong. Next question. How do you get your food? And right at this point in time, our gardens have not been, well, our garden this year could have been a huge success, but that's when all of our weed eater and everything went down, and I had to go back to work and working long hours. He couldn't keep up with everything, so our garden is not probably our best solution. Well, I mean, it will be eventually, but like, I haven't canned anything. I did freeze a bunch of vegetables this year. I did make some pickles, but we really haven't used that as a bona fide food source. I mean, we grew some potatoes and stuff like that, but that is not our only food source. We do go to the grocery store like everybody else. When we're able to get a freezer set up, we will get our own food there, which that will be helpful. We plan on putting a root cellar in, and then we'll be able to store a bunch. But right now, our food source is just like everyone else, going to the grocery store. We've tried to eat cleaner, which that would help my medical issues extremely. But you know how tough it is, especially because good food costs more than cheap food. So anyway, that's how we get our food. What else? Do we have a shower? Yes, we have a shower. It's in our house. We have a small corner of our 240 square foot shed house that is a shower and bathroom area. Now, it does not have a sink, it does not have a mirror, it doesn't have all that, so I get ready by the kitchen sink with I'm sure it's probably like only a 5-inch mirror. So if you see hair out of place or, you know, makeup off to the side, you know that's why. Sorry guys, the road seems extremely rough this morning. It's Saturday, I'm half asleep. Another question was, is it scary? Yes, it's absolutely scary. I'm afraid of the dark. I always have been since I was a child. So moving out to the woods and going outside, especially for an outhouse, is terrifying. Have I gotten used to it? No. Have I gotten better at it? Yes. Dodge is okay with everything, so nothing really ever bothers him. Does he think I'm a pansy? No, I don't think so. I think that he thinks that I'm kind of a girly girl in a way, and maybe I am in some aspects, but I don't really think so. Are there a lot of predators? Yes, a lot. Of course, we have a lot of deer on our property, which that's a every morning thing. And the deer that we have actually bark like dogs when they feel threatened, which they've gotten a lot better at, but they still will stand there and snort and bark and stomp at you. And that is kind of scary in the dark, unless you know what the sound is. But a fox is scary in the dark unless you know what the sound is. Don't know where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, next question. Why did you choose clear out in the middle of nowhere? Because we wanted to be away from society. And the original plan was to work from home, not leave the homestead a whole lot. Obviously, priorities change, but for the most part, Oklahoma is really good to homesteaders, which Utah is not. In our land, we can pretty much do whatever we want. We can build an earth bag house. We can use solar. We can water catchment. So that's why we chose where we are. And land was cheaper. When are we building our house? Our house, I wish I could tell you that right now, but I don't know. Plans change daily. Do I want a house? Yes, absolutely. I'm not a tiny house person. I said that multiple times. I have too many hobbies to live tiny. I don't want to live tiny, and neither does Dodge. He wants a shop, and that'll probably be one of our next projects, because right now we have nowhere to store things. Our house, back to that, will probably be hopefully in the spring. We have not finalized any certain plans for a house, because our first one was such a huge house. Could we downscale the one that we chose? Yes. But I don't want a small courtyard in the center. So we might have to do a half round and then do the outbuildings. We're really not sure yet. But hopefully that will start in the spring. But there's only 2 of us. And it's very labor intensive, so that will take us a long time. So that's why we have decided to add on to the shed, because to live comfortable until that point. Now, we've been out here 3 years. Did we think that would happen before now? Absolutely yes. But life happens. Next question. How far do we live from town? We live about 17 miles from town, give or take. And then from the big town that I work in, we're close to 37 to 40 miles somewhere. So it's about an hour drive to big town. Most of it is dirt road. Well, no, it's not. A lot of it is dirt road until we hit town. Well, just before you get town, about 5 miles or so, I think, maybe farther, before you hit town, does it turn to pavement. It's still in the mountains, yes, but it's pavement. And then, of course, the highway is all paved right into the big town. Next question, does it get cold there? Absolutely yes, it's cold. It's cold in the wintertime, and it's super hot in the summertime. It snows here. Not near much snow as Utah, Wyoming area. What I'm used to. It only lasts maybe a week or so, and then it's more wet than it is snow. But yes, it does snow, it does get cold. It's been 5 degrees here. Severe weather. How can you stand the severe weather? I cannot. If anybody's ever knows me, I cannot. I absolutely hate the severe weather. but this is where we've chosen to live. So we take precautions. Do we have a shelter? Not yet. Do I feel safer in the shed? Yes. The camper was awful. To be honest, Dodge makes me feel safer. I got caught in a tornado. It didn't actually hit me, but it went around me. Earlier, like in April, it's when the big one hit Blanco. So it came through this area, actually where I'm driving right now. And I just pulled over and cried. And then the very next morning, the same thing happened. So, driving to work during storms is probably going to be a no-go, because not doing that again. Next question. Well, there's a lot of them, but one I will address is don't go fast on homesteading. Prioritize your needs first, because I went hog wild when I came out here. We got chickens before we moved, and they stayed with me in Utah while Dodge was here. And then, which they were fine. The chickens were fine. We had to build a coop when we got here. We already had a whole bunch of animals. So I have a fox. We have, and his name's Mayhem, and he's 11 years old now. So he's almost at the end of his lifespan. And then we had Bane, who was our wolf, high content wolf, and he was 6 when he passed away, and we think he got bit by a snake on his mouth because he had kidney failure and died. And we had two dogs. Well, we had 2, and then we got Mr. Hoot Gibson, who was our large guardian dog. For the goats that I bought as soon as we got here, I did buy 3 goats. Ended up 4 goats, and then we had 7 goats, and then that's when I said I need to tone it back a bit, because my priorities changed, and I'll come to that in a minute. But the priorities changed a little bit, and so I rehomed my goats with the option to get more later on. I do still have our Billy goat, and to be honest, he's a sweetheart and we love him, but no one really wanted him. I got a horse as soon as I got here, because if you don't know, I was in a really bad horse accident in 2011. Was it 2011? 2011, 2012. Can't remember. Lost a kidney, among a few other things, and then I have not been back on one. So my goal was to get one and get back on again, and I've had a couple since then and still have not gotten back on. So, was Mojo probably a want, not a need? Yes, he was. I did not need another horse, but I did it. Should I have? No. The Highland cow was a gift, which is the Hippy-Cow-Yay Homestead. He's my hippie cow, as Dodge calls him. He's a mini Scottish Highland bull, and we probably wouldn't be Hippy-Cow-Yay without him. But is he a pain? Yes. Yes, he is. He gets out. Let's see. I have now Ed Earl, which he was my Christmas present last year. Mr. Hoot Gibson we have, who was my Christmas present the year before that. Dodge gets me animals for Christmas. I have my Shaggy girl, who she came with us from Utah, and she's my heart dog, love her. And then our little man, Spinky, who is our three-legged mini Aussie, who is the last of our Aussie family that we had for 15 years. And he's very old, but he's outlived every one of them. And then we have cats, and the cats are just the cats, and yeah. So go slow. Don't get all the animals. That's very important. Build your enclosures and build them right first. Don't do temporary. We did lots of temporary. And still do. And that's all the questions I can think of right now. There's probably more. But I'm in town, and of course, the town hates the phone. So, I'm going to let you guys go. Go build something fun. Share your stories. And come ride with us in the journey. And I'll catch you guys later. See you on Monday.